Points galore at the Trafalgar Centre. The bar set for where the Giants need to be. 23 straight sellouts. The Salty Saints. Some coach-on-coach action in the NBL, and we get to know one of four siblings who all have the same initials. Powered by BeSeenMore. It's the official podcast of the NBS Nelson Giants. It's G.I.Antics. Kia ora fans, welcome into episode 6 of G.I.Antics. Hugh Beynon here, Phill Jones alongside me. Hello Phill.
I'm good, Hugh. How's things?
Good, yeah, good. Great entertainment at the Trafalgar Centre on Sunday, wasn't it? In both those games.
A lot of points put up by both teams. Unfortunately,
it was a real Phill Jones day out.
Team
a lot of offense.
A lot of offense, yeah. A game I would have loved playing in.
Yeah, in both the games. And we're joined by the Nelson Giants import guard, Kobe Langley. Hello, Kobe.
Good, how are you?
Good. Welcome into the G.I.Antics studio. It's great to have you here. Now, you are, 10 days into life?
10 days.
As a professional basketballer and life away from home in Nelson. How are you going?
Surprisingly, since I don't know much about New Zealand itself, but everything's been good. Teammates been great, communicating back and forth, hanging out all the time, so it's been good.
Yeah, the chemistry certainly seems pretty good around this Giant squad at the moment, which we'll get to. But first, we're going to start with Name That Giant.
Excellent.
As we like to do, and this is for you, Phill. I gave you a week off last week. I reckon I've kept it pretty good for you. All right? Ready?
No, but let's do it.
Okay, this is a former or current Nelson Giant, and I'll run through their career, the clubs they played for. Phil's got to guess who it is. All right. BASK, Radnitsky Belgrade,
Nenad Vucinic.
Easy.
Okay.
Nenad Vucinic.
Well, that was easy.
All right.
Yeah.
Kobe, Nenad Vucinic. You would have seen those 3 retired jerseys up on the wall. Nenad Vucinic was the first one to get his jersey retired by the Nelson Giants. Played for the Giants from 1989 to 2000, 11 years, and then coached them. Well, there was a crossover as player coach, right?
Yeah.
From 96 to 2001. Then coached New Zealand for a long time and came back and coached the Giants from 04 to 07. And within that time, saved the Giants a few times from folding, I think, Phill, with his own money, right? And his own dedication.
Yeah, he was player administration, GM, the whole, owned a vegetable store, worked full-time in there, like back in the day when it wasn't quite a professional sort of outfit as it is now, so it's changed a lot. But he was a big reason why the Giants are still around. 2-time
champion as a player, 5-time coach of the year as well. Still coaching. His coaching career is a lot longer than his playing career. Multiple clubs and national teams as well. And has one of our favourite listeners as a daughter in Jelena Vucinic as well. So Nenad listens over in the Philippines and Jelena listens from up in Auckland. This is great. Right, rip into it. Go, Giants, go. 2 losses at the weekend to the Airs, both in the Rapid League and the NBL. We knew, Phill, that this was going to be a massive test looking at that Airs roster. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought,
let's talk about the lineups first.
It was an interesting sort of setup with the Rapid League starting group and then also the starting group for the main game, where we don't know what was going on with the Airs. I think there was a bit happening.
I know what was going on.
Oh, you know what's going on?
I've since found out. So, Kobe, in that week leading up to the Airs, you guys had 10 days between games, right? Between the Jets and the Airs.
Yep.
Your scout would have not been on the guys who got started on the floor, right? Was that, when did you guys find out? How did that affect you pre-game?
Found out maybe 30 minutes before the game that some of the guys weren't going to be able to start. Some guys were going to be in the Rapid League. But we prepared for everyone. We didn't know until, just right before the game. So, but yeah.
So for those that didn't see the game, out of nowhere, half an hour before the game, the starting lineups came out, and in the Rapid League was Tobias and Flynn Cameron, who both played for New Zealand, Carlin Davison, and
Daron
Rokava as well. 3 of those who would normally start for the NBL, and Elijah Mini, one of their imports, wasn't starting the game either. Rumours abound. Caught up with one of the players after the game and found out it all went on the piss. Classic New Zealand NBL story after their game in Tauranga. Just had a broke curfew, bit of a night out, so Sam McKinnon, that was his form of punishment. All right, you guys want to have fun? Go play Rapid League against some fast kids. I actually thought the Rapids, I know it was their first loss, did a pretty damn good job out there. Lost by 2 or 3 in the end?
3-point game.
3-point game against 4 Tall Blacks. It was pretty good for a couple of school kids as well, and some youngsters. I thought they did pretty well, Phill.
Yeah, and they're a good little unit. They've been playing a bit together now. That team against the Naki team, that's a tough group. I don't know whether we'll see too many other Rapid League teams as strong as that one. But for the main game, I thought the Giants had a great start. Obviously they took advantage of the starting group that came on.
And we were wondering in commentary, how long is Sam Mack going to keep?
A minute and 30 by, and then
minute 24.
first subs came in, and but the Giants still did a really good job initially. Once he has got going, there was just no stopping them. They just kept hitting shot after shot after shot, and if they didn't make the shot, they'd get the offensive rebound and then put another one up, and that one went in. It was
116 to 97. So on paper, it looks like we've copped a fair beating there. But if you look at the stats, and Kobe, I don't know, I think I'm a positive guy, right?
Right.
So I look at it positive and go, well, we've shot 50% from the floor, 50% from three, and put 97 points on a team that lots of people are picking to win the championship, right? For the season. And they have shot 63% from the field and 57% from three. Those are pretty outrageous numbers. Now, a pessimist might look at that and go, well, our defense is terrible and their defense just wasn't as bad as ours. So what was the vibe from you guys who were actually in it and played it in the locker room afterwards? Was it just felt like you couldn't do anything to stop them, or were there miscommunications and misunderstandings on D?
We definitely, shout out to the Airs. They played a great game, but we gave them a lot of easy looks in the beginning. They got out in transition and got some easy ones. Got a lot of offensive rebounds, easy looks. So at the end, it wasn't that bad because they shot almost 60% from the three, and they're one of the worst three-point percentage teams in the league. So it was kind of a shock. But as a team, we just got to do better.
It was. I looked down the stat lines for everything was relatively even. Rebounds 42 to 27, right? So you touched on it. That was the key, right?
Right.
And part of that, I guess, was big Theo Akuba was, got in some foul trouble.
Right.
3 foul. We thought that game would come at some point because Kobe, it always does for the American bigs when they come to this league. They always have a game like that. And it came in this one, which was a shame for Theo because that was shaping up early to be a pretty cool battlefield between him and Sam Froling, who's a hell of a player.
Yeah, I think Sam Froling's probably one of the marquee big men in this
MVP
league.
right?
Plays Australian Boomer, plays in the Aussie NBL, and he's put a lot of teams on notice when playing against him that he's full package. He can do everything. He defends pretty well. Offensively, he's crafty. He's good with both hands, and he gets guys into foul trouble. I think Theo initially did a pretty good job on him.
He won those first couple of contests they had.
Yeah, but I guess the potential advantage that Sam Froling has is he can put the ball on the floor as well, and it makes it tough. Big guys can slide one way and maybe cut him off and turn him once, but if he's changing direction a few times, it makes it pretty tough to play against. Yeah,
it was just that roster, I feel like it had to come together at some point for them, and unfortunately it came together at the Trafalgar Centre for them because they put on a hell of a show, and it just felt like the Giants. You guys, you never let it become a blowout. You kept getting back in it, but only to like 9 points down, right? And you just couldn't bridge that gap. For you coming into this league, Kobe, probably not knowing much about the New Zealand league, that's I guess a pretty good show of the level, right? Was it surprising for you?
So I came in and played the first 2 games. Obviously it was physical, but last night was just a whole different ball game. But yeah, that's great. Those guys they played a great game, and it's something for us as a team to adjust and just get better. But yeah, hats off to them.
I guess individually as well, guys like you and Theo who we know what it's about. You come to New Zealand because you want to take that next step, and Australia is a great next step, the Aussie NBL, and so to play against Mitch McCarron and Flynn Cameron, who made it to the grand final in Australia last year, Sam Froling, on the top players in the league, that's a pretty good standard to base yourself on. And hey, you didn't disgrace yourself. Look at your stat line was, again, to 2 straight games, pretty outstanding. 24 points, 62% from the field, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. I'm used to 15, but we'll take your 6, 5 steals as well. So defensively, I think at one point you came off and Mike Fitcher gave you a bit of a rack up.
Oh yeah.
And you went on and got 2 steals in about 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Less than that, maybe. So quickly, in fact, that the referees didn't know what was going on and the game had to stop. Or the score bench, not the referees. The score bench made a mistake and the referees had to stop the game. So that was almost a turning point there. Right? And then just Taranaki again took it away. But hey, that's what's going to happen in those games.
Yeah, like I don't think in any aspect that the Giants actually played poorly. I think if you play any other team and you score 97 points, you're more than likely going to win every game. Just caught the years on a night where they just couldn't miss and they got hot. And if you look at their stat lines and the productivity they had from their players that potentially didn't start the game, maybe they came out with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. You know, Elijah Minnie was really good. I think he had 21 in 19 minutes. Carlin Davison was awesome.
Best game I've ever seen from Carlin.
And if you have guys like that stepping up for them and doing those sorts of things, it's going to make it tough for the opposition.
Let's look forward then, shall we? Finally, you get to go on the road. You get to see a bit of New Zealand, Kobe. It's going to be pretty cool for you, and you head south to start.
Take your jacket. Take your puffer.
It's going to be cold.
I heard.
It's going to be cold down there. So the Giants are off to Invercargill and then Otago, where, Phil, you spent a bit of time. We got, I reckon, a banana skin game, followed by another great test, Phil. So the Sharks haven't won a game. So Phil, you win, Kobe. They're a pretty proud franchise. They're about 14 years old now. They've won 3 or 4 championships. They've got, to my mind, the best arena in the league. Like, it's a real cool facility. Almost too big in terms of it's hard to fill and stuff. But when you get down there, you'll be like, okay, this is a legitimate stadium. This is awesome. But just not having a good season, Phil. The Sharks, are they? Haven't won a game. Maybe their recruitment wasn't the best. It just hasn't come together for them. But so that hence a potential banana skin game.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one for the Giants, you know, because obviously they're still searching for their first win, and you know, basketball is a funny game. You only need to be 5% off your game, and it can be a difference of 20 points. And you know, you catch this team on the wrong night, you know, and they start shooting the ball well, and we don't. So it's one that the Giants really got to go and focus, and it's the first game of the trip. It's a must win. Must win, and then the Nuggets game is going to be a super test because they have another good squad, and I think it's one that the Giants can definitely get. And you're getting to the stage of the season now where wins are becoming crucial because you've played so many games at home. You know, 5 games at home, 1 on the road. You know, now heading down double header, pretty tough double header, but you know, splitting it would be okay. But if you can get 2 out, 2 on the road, be awesome.
Absolutely.
So what have you been told about New Zealand? Where you're going? Who's I'm sure Tom Ingham's given you. He spent 4 years down or a few years, 3 or 4 years down in Otago. I'm sure someone's been giving you some hints.
Not yet.
Nothing. They're just going to let you discover it.
Nothing. I mean, everybody's told me, like, you know, when we travel, it'll be, you know, not better, but just a sight to see it and a good experience. Oh, it's going to be a cool life experience for you traveling around New Zealand. Like, you're going to just that flight down over the Southern Alps.
Have you been on a plane before that has propellers rather than jet engines? Is that
no? Well, you're about to go on a few.
Okay.
You fly over a pretty spectacular mountain range on your way down to Otago, to Southland and Otago. So that's going to be pretty special for you. But quickly before we move on, our over-unders, Phil. We split them again.
So I'm still up.
I had Theo to get over 3.5 blocks. The referees didn't let him. So and you had Flynn Cameron to get over 10.5 points.
And he got 9.
8 assists. He had a good game.
That's poor, Flynn. Poor.
And I remember you saying that's a freebie. That's a freebie. Thanks, Flynn. I reckon this time, because the doubleheader, we'll go Sharks and Nuggets margins. Okay? So I'll give you a margin that the Giants will beat the Sharks by, and you give me a margin that the Giants will beat the Nuggets by, and we choose over and under. Okay? I'm going to go Giants.
Hang on, you give me the one game that is the questionable game versus the one game that is...
Well, because I set the margin, you get to choose over and under for the Sharks. So I'm going to say the Giants will beat the Sharks by 14.5 points. What are you going for?
Over.
Over? You reckon? Okay. Good. All right, now you give me a margin for how many the Giants will beat the Nuggets by. If any losses happen, then they're void.
Okay, let's go. Giants win by 8.5. I'm
going to go under. I reckon it's going to be a tight one. You're going to enjoy playing a little guy called Ty Webster. He played against his brother Corey in that Tuatara game.
Right, yeah.
His younger brother Ty's got the big buffy hair. He's a character. Yeah. He's already been suspended for one game this season for pushing someone in the face and then ejected in another game. But he's a hell of a player. Right. He's a good player, but you're going to enjoy that. Right, we're going to do a section now called Get to Know Kobe because, we don't get to know you too much. So I want to start with your family.
Okay.
You're one of 4, and all your names begin with K. Yes. Talk me through them.
So, first one, Kiefer. We call him KJ. The middle brother, Cameron Langley.
Why KJ? Is that because your dad's is he?
Kiefer.
He's a junior?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. And then my twin, Keyshawn, we call him Key. And then me, I'm the baby.
You're the baby, but you're a twin. Yeah. Were you the second twin by a few minutes or something? Or
9 minutes. 9 minutes.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yep. Jeez, your poor mum. Okay. And you guys are a bit of a brand, right? You've got a clothing brand on the go?
Yes. K4L.
K4L, hence the 4 kids. I went to actually try and buy a T-shirt, but you can't ship it to New Zealand. So whether you're here right now, I'll get my hand on that purple one.
Got you.
I need that purple K4L.
Purple.
It's cool stuff.
Kings colours,
obviously. Kings fan. Okay. But they've got, you guys got Instagram and everything like that, so check it out. What's the Instagram handle? It's like at K4L.
It's 4KL, actually. My fault. 4KL. Just 4KL brand.
Yeah.
At Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. It's definitely worth going to have a look. So yeah, get me in that purple shirt. I'll wear it around town.
I got you.
Are you and your brother identical twins?
Yeah, not identical.
No,
fraternal.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 different sacks.
And you played 5 years of college.
Yes.
At UNC Greensboro.
Yes.
Your twin brother, played all 5 years with you.
Yes.
That's pretty special.
Yes, it is.
So you went to the same high school, I imagine, right? And then in Greensboro or?
In the High Point.
High Point. How far away is that from Greensboro?
About 15, maybe 20.
Was that the nearest university campus to where you grew up? There's a lot of university campuses around North Carolina, right?
Yeah, so High Point University is actually closer than Greensboro University. But yeah, A&T is down the street from UNCG.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Elon University. What else? I think that's it.
And so UNCG, is that part of the University of North Carolina, which a lot of us will know from Michael Jordan, obviously, right? But is it part of that university, or is it a different, just a different campus? Or
it's just a different campus. It's probably about 30 to 45-minute drive from UNCG. So
it shows you the scale, Phill, of America, that they can have just a different campus and still have its own massive college sports program.
Right.
And you come to Nelson and we even have a university. Right.
Yeah.
5 years, that's a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And pretty cool that you got to play with your brother. What are your main memories from university then? University basketball?
Just winning the championship my sophomore year, and getting the chance to play in the NCAA tournament against Florida State, which was actually pretty cool. But yeah, we won conference and we won regular season. So, that was pretty unique. And, I did it with my brother, so it was pretty cool. So.
Have you been speaking to any of the younger Giants players? In fact, I saw you, I think, one of your first trainings. I was there watching. I remember you grabbed Hayden, Phil's son, and you were like, are you only 17? There was a moment where you were like, what? You're only 17? They must be asking you about college and all sorts of stuff.
Of course. But, seeing the guys asking their age and stuff like that kind of shocked me and surprised me because these kids are actually good. So, yeah, I was asking these kids, where are they going to college or if they're going to college or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, it's a couple of conversations.
UNCG get you out here recruiting?
A little bit. A little bit.
And then here you are in your first pro job. You obviously have a pretty tight-knit family on the go by the sounds of it, and you grew up in High Point and went to university 15 minutes away or 20 minutes away. So pretty daunting coming the other side of the world.
Yes.
Different culture, different, everything. Was it quite scary to make that jump?
It was. Obviously shocking, but, came in anxious and ready to go, excited.
Basketball's basketball, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm doing what I love to do. But yeah, obviously it's culture change. You know, people down here obviously different from where I'm from, but you know, in a good way, they're all welcoming, and you know, anything I need, people are there for me. So it's been good.
You would have seen some. Well, you've seen a lot of imports come to town, Phill. 23 years you played for the Giants, so every year there was imports, right? Some acclimatised better than others.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, we've seen some guys come in here in the last 5 minutes and some guys come in here and want to come back every year for the rest of their life, you know, and I think that has a lot to do with the environment of the group and the culture, and Coach Mike Fitchett has done a really good job of that. And we see a lot of guys in the last few years come in here, some younger guys, because he's taken younger players out of college, and they've sort of bounced from here and gone on to bigger and better things, which to the detriment of the Giants is a tough one, because we have guys that, you know, like yourself, you started off really well, and if you keep performing the way you are, it's just it's a stepping stone to something bigger. We really struggle to get you back. You know,
well, Jared West, and you know Jared West. Like,
Yes.
I know you have the same agent as Jared West, right? So,
Yes.
which is probably one of the main reasons you ended up here, that
Yes.
connection that Mike Fitchett has with Jared West's agent. So he's another one, right? That I know the Giants tried to get back last year, but he was off and getting paid in China and then Greece and then Germany, and so like that's it's all right. It's an exciting time for you for sure.
And I think too, like it's a real for first time out. It's a great place to come because the language is easy. The barrier is not a problem. You know, you're not going to a European country where they don't speak a lot of English, and you know, the food's pretty good. It's a pretty relaxed environment.
You get paid. There's leagues around the world that's hard, as you know, Phill, where it's hard to get your money.
There's time. You know, you will more than likely experience that throughout your career. And I think if you just stay focused on the job at hand, you'll love it. You'll have a great time.
Yes,
and it'll just become normal to travel and see the world. That's the big thing that I enjoyed, was I just got to see so much of the world, meet lots of really cool people, and play basketball.
Right.
It was fun. Great time.
Can't complain, really.
Yeah.
Can you?
You can always go home.
Yeah.
Teammates, talk me through them. Which ones have really ingratiated themselves to you? Which ones you're trying to avoid? Which ones, you know? Who's the biggest pest?
Not really anybody I want to avoid, because, you know, all the guys been, like I said, welcome me with open arms, been friendly, been nice. But the main ones that I really hang out with, they're Fotu.
Yeah.
Greta and Naughty and Ingy, for sure.
So Ingy's, that's one of his things. Like, one of his main roles has been off the court anyway, has been helping the imports just feel at home.
Oh yeah,
he does a great job, right?
Yes. And you know, as a vet, you know, coming in, he does a great job of showing us, you know, where to go, where to eat, what things are good to do out here. So you know, Ingy's been telling me a lot.
He's got the time as well. He doesn't have a family yet, whereas Sammy D's got 3 kids to worry about. So he'll see you at practice.
It's so funny to think of hearing him being called a vet as well, because to us he's still pretty young, you know, and still in the early stages of his career.
Have you fit into the? How many coaches did you have at college? Like, how many head coaches in your 5 years?
I had 2.
2. Okay.
My first one went to Cincinnati. And then Mike Jones came in from Radford and took over.
So pretty stable. So coming into a new system, have you fit in with Fitch and the system he runs? And
it's been about the same. We run the same flow offense that we do at UNCG. So pretty same. But, you know, Fitch gave me a lot of freedom to do, you know, what I need to do to win and be successful. I'm on the basketball court.
Have you noticed any difference between college and pro?
Absolutely.
You have?
Absolutely. It's more physical. There's a lot of guys on the same level as you, maybe not quicker or faster, but, you know, their IQ is just about the same or better.
Just through experience, right? And playing more, yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, guys are just, you know, better here and smarter. So, you know, obviously the refs I have adjusted to the refs because they're different, way different than back home. So, yeah.
Well, we saw Mitch McCarron, right? And he's probably a shining example who talked about like that high IQ.
Right. Mitch
McCarron out there has not got your athletic ability, right, in terms of your speed and your turn of pace and everything. But he ran a good show last night, didn't he?
Yeah.
Phil, like, he's just been around.
Right.
And
he's experienced.
Slowed them down so much. Yeah. And he was, like, from a neutral point of view, if I took this hoodie off, he was pretty fun to watch last night.
Yeah, you probably come across three guards in that Ayers team, and Rokawa, Flynn Cameron, and Mitch. They're all kind of at sort of different stages of their career. Where you know, Mitch is sort of the experienced guy that's been everywhere, done everything, played in the Boomers, and then you've got Daron, who's just like a gamer. You know, he just comes out and he just plays, and he's experienced. And then Flynn is the young guy on the scene, sort of similar to you, starting off in his professional career, and so they're all good players.
Oh yeah,
they're all talented, and
there's three of the best guys you'll come up against in this competition, and they're all on one team.
Yeah, I think that's really true. There's other really quality guards, but the Years have the luxury of having three of them in one group. Right. It's a tough group.
How's your relationship on the court with Alex McNaught? So 2 years ago, he formed a pretty formidable partnership with Jerry West. They used to have their little nice little lockdown key thing that they used to do to each other when they got a steal. They'd look and they'd do the little lock the key thing. That was cute. I know off the court you guys get on well. Naughty's house seems to be the place to go. He's got the PlayStation VR headset, Phill, and it's the poker spot. So that's where the guys go, where Naughty and Dan Fotu are living together. But on the court, it's going to be quite important, I think, for the Giants this year that you two blend well. How was it working?
Like you said, the off the court, it's been great, and that's the reason why we've been clicking on the court. When I drive, I know where he's gonna be. When he drives, he know where I'm gonna be. We just got that connection because we're so close knit off the court. And as you've seen, the lob happened a couple games ago, so it was just that connection that we had.
That lob, that was obviously a massive highlight. Was that pretty cool because it went pretty big over at home, I imagine? I see all the Langleys commenting on like Twitter or X, whatever it is now, and Instagram and stuff. So was your phone blowing up on that highlight?
Yeah, it was blowing up. I had to turn my phone off for a couple of days, literally, because I was getting text messages back home, and it was literally blowing my phone up. My phone was starting to get hot. I had to throw it in the freezer. So yeah. It was kind of crazy.
Awesome. Right, let's move on. We'll talk a little bit about around the league before we finish with a little quiz for you, Kobe. So Sales Around the League brought to you by Sales. Special deal for all G.I.Antics listeners, of course. So sales.co.nz, use the online code GIANTHALF. Buy one, get one free on any half pizza. That's available until next Wednesday, only at Sales, Nelson or Richmond. I want to continue talking about the Ayers, Phill, if we go around the league, and specifically that game against the Saints they had. Because I love all this off-court stuff. I don't know if you have seen this, Kobe, but the Ayers coach last night, Sam McKinnon, Australian great. Like, was an MVP of the Australian League, was a hell of a basketball player, right? Phill, you two did battle many a time. Quite the opposite to the Saints coach, because Sam McKinnon's quite brash Aussie sports star, right? That's how he seems like a nice guy. I met him for the first time last night. He's a competitor. He's a competitor, classic Aussie competitor, right? The Saints coach, Zico Coronel, you didn't play that game, so you haven't met Zico yet. So Zico is not that kind of guy. He didn't play the game to any professional level. He's a mind. He's a basketball mind, right? He's won championships as a coach, and he's come up almost through the scouting room, the video room kind of way, right? Those two clashed on the sideline between the Saints and Todd. We're going to have to get the bleeper out here. So make a note here, producer Todd. But like, Zico does not shut up in a game, right? And because I'm commentating a lot of the time, and I've commentated 20, 30, 40, 50 of Zico's games, and I get on well with Zico. He's a good man. He's always yapping at refs, at his team, at the other team, whatever. It's just how he is in the game. And there was something happened, like Quentin Bailey was trying to sub on at a free throw, and he walked on and then tried to walk off, and Zico, who knows the rules inside out, backwards, upside down, right, was like, he can't sub, he can't sub, he can't sub. Sammy McKinnon, who was a bit probably frustrated because they were losing as well, just goes, shut the f***. And then lays into his trench coat. He's like, you're wearing that trench coat or something like that. And Zico looked like a schoolboy had been told off. He was just like, man, that was funny. Sure, not ideal language, but I quite like that, Phill. Quite like seeing that in the league,
adds another layer of, I guess, competitiveness to the league. And, we all know Zico he's a heck of a coach in regards to his knowledge of the game and the plans he implements, and he's like a orchestrator out there trying to tell his team what to do throughout the game. But Sammy Mack I think he just had enough.
Not having a bar
at that point. And the thing that amazes me is that we keep miking these guys up.
I know.
and we're not expecting them to use some sort of foul language, and they just do every game.
Every game.
We might have to come up with a different plan so that we're just not treating the fans to that level of language. But in all sport, all environments, when it gets hot and heated, language comes out.
Yep.
Everyone regrets it after they've said it, but in the heat of the moment, it's just hard to control sometimes.
Yeah, I know. The Saints, so Kobe, another bit of NBL context for you. The Saints have been around for have played 40 seasons in the NBL, and they have been in the grand final 20 times. So they're a powerhouse. They've won 12 championships out of those 20 spots. So on average, every 2 years, they make the grand final. So they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Much to Phill, you've lost a few grand finals to them, I think, over the years.
Yeah, a lot of times. Saints have always been thereabouts, either semis, finals.
They're going to be thereabouts this year as well, right?
Definitely.
5-1. Like we said, they've got Hiram Harris, they've got Zico coaching, which is a game changer as well. Seemingly, last time he was in the league, he won the league with the Saints. The year before, he got to the grand final with the Hawks. So he's got the pedigree. So everyone talked pre-season about the Tuatara and the Airs. The Saints have put themselves in that conversation, right?
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, but they're a good team.
I know.
They're well managed.
Just have a bad spell for like 5 years, Wellington. Come on.
Well, it's like they have a culture. They have that culture where they are like, you'd almost look at them and go, they're the schoolyard bullies, but they
are the villains. They are the villains of the NBL.
And they come out and they play a really cool style of basketball. They've got Zico back, and he adds that layer of, I guess, professionalism
but he also
demands.
Brings that animosity as well, because he's not, he's not cuddly, right? No. Yeah. So the Saints are back in, and the Bulls are back in. The Bulls are in there for the first time, really, which is pretty cool to see a newish team. They only existed since 2020. They only lost one game. They've got the Airs coming up, so that's going to be a great game too.
Yeah, they got a really good squad.
And so for the Giants, we've seen what we need to get to now. That Airs team. The next big test, I think, banana skin, yes, against the Sharks, but you'd hope that's a win. The next big test is that Nuggets game. Yeah. Always a bit of extra for Mike Fitchett against the Nuggets as well, because he played there for 4 years as well. Ingy played there as well, so there's a bit of a connection between the Giants and the Nuggets, so it's going to be interesting. Right, to MBS Whakatū Focus, and a pretty simple one this week. There's no podcast availability next week for us to record in the studio. The studio's booked out, producer Todd's busy, so what we're going to do is release our special next week, which is the Club Ball special. Phill? So we're going to sit down, talk about all things Club Ball. It starts on the 7th of May, the Prem grade, so we're going to have a special where we talk about the men's and the women's Prems competitions and a little bit about the college competition as well. So we'll get a cool guest in the studio and we'll go full Club Ball. Kobe, some of the Giants play Club Ball, not the ones that play heavy minutes, so don't worry, you're not going to be expected to play. If you do, we've got a green and gold jersey for you. But it's pretty cool because you'll get to come and watch, which is cool. And it's a real cool community. But we'll get to that in the Club Ball episode. Okay. So that's going to come up next week. Also, for you, a special. We have our first G.I.Antics throwback, Phill, which is a series I think we're going to do when we can, because it's going to be done on availability with former Giants. We're kicking it off with Tony Rampton, so that will be released for you next week as well. So this podcast you listen to has come out on the Wednesday. Next week, you'll get a Club Ball special and a G.I.Antics throwback with Tony Rampton, which will be pretty cool, and a series we hope to bring with you. And then we'll just delve into the Southern Swing against the Nuggets and the Sharks the week later. Because the Giants are going on the road for the first time in a long time. 5 out of 6 games at home to start the season. Good for us, Phill. We get a bit of a break.
Yeah, good to get a bit of a break.
Yeah, and I've had too much sales and too much coke.
Focus on a few other things. And it'd be great for the team, I think, just to get on the road and gel a little bit more, because they're the trips that you look forward to get closer as a unit, and find out a little bit more about each other, and hopefully that brings them back a little bit better and stronger than what you are now.
And just talking about the away game, we've got 9 road games to go this season. For at least one of them, we will do a G.I.Antics watch party at an establishment in Nelson or Richmond. So keep an eye out on that. Keep an ear out to the podcast on that, because we'll announce that. It won't be this weekend, but going forward we will. To ShotClock, Kobe, the quiz. Right, 24 seconds. That's a shot clock, right?
Right.
We're not at college anymore. Was it 30 at college? Oh, that's actually, before we start this, did you think, because like college is 10 seconds to get over halfway, right? Mm-hmm. Did no one have told you about the 8-second rule in your first game?
Really, nobody told me about any rules.
We just assumed, right?
Yeah, so I was all just, learning on the fly the first game. So just trying to adjust to everything was just shocking, and, but
we should put that in,
you almost need an induction pack for
I was about to say,
world FIBA rules.
Yeah. Because there's a few different ones. Like, well, that's probably the main one, right? The 30-second shot clock down to 24.
Yeah.
And the 10 seconds over halfway is now 8.
Player timeouts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's New Zealand only, right? Yeah. That's not even FIBA.
Exactly.
That's New Zealand only. Do you like that rule?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. So
it's funny whenever you guys call one, I always see Ben Sheet just be like looking over, like trying to get someone to see him so he can just like wink a play in or something like that. Yeah. But he's not allowed to, but I always see him try. Right, you got 24 seconds, Kobe, to name, I don't know if this is easy or hard, but there's 152 answers. So you've got 24 seconds to name as many NBA players who were born in North Carolina.
Okay.
Go.
John Wall. He's in the NBA right now.
Who's played in the NBA? Just keep going.
Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Montrezl Harrell, Harry Giles, Dennis Smith Jr., Theo Pinson, Kobe White.
Time up. Not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I had to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not bad.
Let's do it again. I can get more than that.
You can't have another go. If I get another go, you can't have another go.
Well, run me through some other ones you could have got.
I was gonna say Greg Brown, not Brown. Greg. He gonna be mad at me if I don't get it.
Oh, do you know him?
I do know him. He played with our CB3 team. Oh,
I don't know if he was born. The only Greg I can see on this list is Greg Whitman, who played in 1970. So he might not have been born in North Carolina. The ones you could have got were Kent Bazemore. These are the bigger names that I recognize anyway. Kent Bazemore. Walt Bellamy was a Hall of Famer, but played in like 1962, so I don't. Sadiq Bey is playing right now. Gary Clark. Seth Curry. You said Steph Curry.
I know. I should have said both of them.
Curry's. Yeah. Harry Giles, you said him, former Sacramento King.
Wendell Moore.
A Harry Giles jersey. Yeah, he won, didn't he win College Player of the Year? Yeah. Devontae Graham, Montrezl Harrell, Brandon Ingram. It's a factory, right? You said Chris Paul, you said Theo Pinson.
Yep.
PJ Tucker, Rajon Tucker, John Wall, you said, TJ, yeah. That's Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah. He's from South Carolina.
He was born. This is born, so I guess.
Okay. You can go with that.
That's fair. There's a guy called Leaky Black.
Yeah.
That's a name.
That. Yeah.
That's a name. Leaky Black. I think it's Malik or something, right? And they've made it Leaky. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty good. 9.
I thought it was good.
Probably second on the pedestal after Fitch, but Fitch an easy one. So, yeah.
I wanted to get you in here early and try and get you to name as many of your teammates as possible.
My teammates?
After you've been here for like 2 days.
I can do it right now.
Name them all? I don't think you can.
I can name them all.
So, first name and surname?
No, I can't. I can't do the last name. First name, though, I can. All of them. I think. Yeah.
What's the plan? What's your ambitions for this season, Kobe, before we let you go? What do you come to Nelson to get out of here?
Honestly, just come here and win. Do the things I need to do, so I can obviously, build on to my career and keep playing. But, just here to win and be successful, get the team to the playoffs so we can win the playoffs. So, yeah, that's what I'm here for.
I think you can have a good time.
I think so, too.
I think you can have a good time, especially if you can do that, because the Nelson crowd will love you for it. I think they already do after that alley-oop.
Yeah,
so. Awesome to have you here, Kobe. What's the plan for the rest of the day? You got any favourite spots to go and eat?
Favorite spots? DeVille. DeVille is my favorite spot. Pancakes with the chicken or pancakes with the bacon.
That's funny. Yeah, Avery Woodson, another one who played last year. He was from the south, and he was the same. He loved the chicken and waffles and all the classic southern food.
That is great.
Yeah. Okay, well, I might go to DeVille now. No, great to have you here, Kobe. Really appreciate it. And thanks for listening to episode 6 of G.I.Antics. Like I said, no normal episode next week, but a club ball special and a G.I.Antics throwback with the great Tony Rampton. We'll see you then.